Siyabonga bakwethu. Awuboni ke. Thank you. Siyabonga mphathi wohlelo. Usihlalo wethu ngibonge nabaholi bonke abakhona. Ngiyathemba sesebebizwe bonke ikhathini ezihlukene. Ngeke ngisaphinda phinda. Ngibonge kubo bonke abakhona kule mini yanamhlanje abaqhamuke endaweni ezahlukahlukene. Si nabafowethu nama-comrades amanye aphuma eZimbabwe akanye nathi. Ebese ke ngibonga wonke nje umuntu okhona la. Njengoba sazi ukhona amalungu ngoMkhonto weSizwe Party abaze ngobuningi babo abakanye nathi naseyigabeni zonke abakuzona abaholi national level nasema provincini nasema uyayibona nje leyo ndaba iseNzansi nalokho nokushona gcwele nje kutheswi. Sibonge kakhulu abefundisi abakhona phakathi kwethu oselokube nathi njalo nje ukwathi uma kumenyezwa basabela. Sibonga amakhosi ezwe lakithi nawo okwathi uma kumenyezwa asabela. Sibonge bonke nje esikanye nabo namhlanje. Izolo besigubha usuku lokuzalwa kwenhlangano yethu uMkhonto weSizwe Party. Ngaphambi kokuba kufike lenyanga uDisemba bekukhona ukungabaza kwabaningi ukuthi ngeke lifike leli langa lokuthi lenhlangano izalwe ngoba bekukhona ukucabanga ukuthi ngeke iphindi bekhona enye inhlangano kulelizwe eyothandwa ikhonzwe abantu abamnyama ukwedlule bese zike zakhona ngaphambili, ngoba kwakukhona ukucabanga ukuthi sase sifike ekugcineni. Ingakho nje sathi uma simemezela ukuthi sakha lenhlangano, abaningi basebenzisa amagama amaningi ukuyichaza ukuthi lenhlangano ayilutho kangakanani. Sengikhumbula nje oyedwa umfo sengimkhohle ukuthi kwakubani. Wathi i-fake le, just a fake. Esho lenhlangano yabantu baseMzansi Afrika. Same muntu sengimkhohla nakhonto wathini. Wathi kuyothi kuyovotwa uZuma yobe ngasekho emhlabeni. Abalalela izinto nabezwa besho njalo. Abanye babekubona lokhu njengephupho. Uma sisithathile kuyoze ngempela kulalelwe abantu. Kodwa ke ilanga layizolo libe into eyenza ukuthi inkulumo phakathi kwaleli qembu namanye amaqembu ngeke iphinde zibe khona. Kusabuza ukuthi kuzokwenzekani, kuyokwenzekani maphina. Siyajabula ukuthi namhlanje silapha ngento ebalulekile ngoba siyiqembu elisha qeda unyaka nje. Iningi labantu abazalwayo abenzi konke ngonyaka. Uma uthatha ngathi njengabantu, uma uzelwe kufanele ukuthi uthathe isikhathi usemncane ungakazi ukuthi kwenzekani. Ufike lapho khona usuqala ukubona khona, phinde futhi ufunde ukuhamba, phinde futhi ufunde ukukhuluma. Kuthatha isikhathi eside. Akujwayelekile eqinisweni. Angikhumbula ukuthi seke kwakhona i-political party emhlabeni jikelele eseyake yazalwa kwathi ngonyaka yabe isiphethe isizwakala ukuthi khona. It is for the first time. Lokho ke kusho likhulu uma uthatha umlando wethu. Kusho likhulu. I'm happy that today we are here in the gala dinner. We did not just say, let us come and eat, but we must eat. It's a matter of must. But what we thought we needed to do was to accept a reality. The reality is that this organization is very young. It is still in the process of putting itself together. We cannot say we have done everything. There are many things we are still doing to make it an organization of the people of this country. That will be the organization that will take this country to its final goal, where we have not been able to arrive. Based on that, we thought it was an important day for us to bring our members, supporters, everybody else, to accept the reality that we are just 1 year old. And therefore, in a short space of time, in no way can we say we have sufficient resources to carry our struggle forward. And felt that on this day when we would be having friends comrades, and everybody else, we do need to make the point that for now, we are very poor. We don't have money. Yes, it is a fact. We don't have money. And we thought it was important to make the point and therefore call upon all of us, to do something, give us the wings to fly as high as we can, financially. Imali. We believe that whatever we would do in making this organization have the necessary power to take the country, it will be very logical that those who can put something on the hands of this man who was standing here called Mgcini Mafa. Akona mafa nje inkomo kuphela, imali. Because this organization is destined to complete our journey to liberate South Africa. And if we don't see that, whoever, because there are many people who are not seeing things the same way, we might be the type of a nation that would be very difficult to explain and define, because the definition of any nation is defined by its clear understanding where it is going. Those who are not, they lose the destination and go to any other place, and that will never come right. We in MK believe we have taken the last route to the final destination. And we cannot fail. Such nations don't fail. This is an opportunity to have been given by our ancestors, by our God, by our angels, if you want. They've given us the last opportunity to make South Africa to be what it is. South Africa is a powerful country. It's a country that needs people like us. It's a country that is respected in the world because it is in a place that is the best of many in the world. It is a country that must do things the right way. We are therefore happy that this party has done something unusual, that in a short space of time, not even on the short space of time, at the call to our nation that let us come together. The unusual behavior emerged where South Africans said, we don't need yoMkhonto weSizwe to recruit us. We are going to it on our own. That was an indication that this party is not just a party thought out by somebody. I think the time for the ancestors of this country and the angels of this country and the God said the time has come. Many of us can tell very sad stories about our life with regard to the fighting of our people for liberation of South Africa. If you look back, you'll realize that our ancestors were highly political, managed to respond to what the oppressors had done in our country. Correctly so. One of the points they made, you might have thought it would never be made. They said, we in South Africa, the black people, should come together and unite in order to succeed to defeat the oppressor. Very, very important point that was made. And indeed, led by our traditional leaders and our pastors of the time, and supported by the whole country, established an organization called the African National Congress. Our ancestors, I believe, they had given it a thought that remain a historic kind of activity ever done in the continent. That organization influenced the entire African continent. That was the beginning of the Africans in the continent to establish themselves, to fight for their freedom. And indeed, at a given time, Africa was liberated, and South Africa was among those at the tail end of it. We were all together. But because those who came to oppress us felt they could not leave the continent of Africa unattended to, they created all very clever things and systems and everything. For an example, instead of saying to us, here is your country, take it back, they didn't say so. They said, you can't write, you cannot rule these countries because you don't know how to run countries. The fact that they found us running our countries was not an issue. And therefore said, okay, we'll give you 1 year to practice how to run a country. They called it self-government, to teach you whether you can run a country. And you were expected to pass the test. And after passing the test, you will then be given the right now to run your country. But what was not happening was the oppressors telling you how the laws should be, how you should behave, that you still have a mother country that in the past oppressed you. They still took the economy into their hands and told you what to do, what not to do. Some of the leaders who fought were angry about this and started saying, sorry, we want to do it as we want. When they realized that was happening, they bought others of our own to create what was called the coup d'etats, who, in other words, were given every power to overthrow the government of the people that they had fought for, and created what was called the kind of fellows who were mad in their heads. Those were too clever. Some of them were given, even soldiers for that matter, to overthrow and rule, and therefore take Africa back to where it came from. I'm sure many of us who care to look at Africa will agree that Africa is no longer the Africa that was a few years ago. That is what has led to some young people say to other countries who had colonized them to say, sorry, move out of our countries. To show that we don't see things the way we are supposed to see. What was clearly coup d'etats that were undertaken by the big countries. We could all agree, because our leaders were being taken away, some people were being brought in, and it was not what we had been fighting for. It was difficult for people to survive, because with all the support from the big countries, it was not easy. Where is Dr. Nkrumah, one of the most vocal leaders about Africa, who understood where to go, what we needed to do? We can ask many more. You can ask, where are the Samora Machels? What happened to him? You can even ask more questions. And leaders in the continent changed to become something else, and were in trouble. Some of us who were released or who got our independence at the end, believed this will never happen in our country. Partly also because we thought we understand we've got deep politics in South Africa. We're very clear. If many countries thought that South Africa was the best, and we all did, we never thought any wrong things will happen. But what happened? 20 years, and the third one saw us following the same route. I'm sure you all remember that the people of South Africa met in the 1950s and developed a document called the Freedom Charter, which was saying how we are going to rule this country. It was a decision of the people of this country. When we were asked to negotiate, we believed it was part of a passage that you went through to our final thing. But instead of us moving forward, nobody has ever talked about the Freedom Charter, which said the people must govern. If I asked you, are we governing today? Of course, some can say yes, but I'll tell you, that is short of understanding what freedom is all about. Nobody talks about the Freedom Charter today, which says we must be equal, because we are not equal. Nobody today can say the land is in our hands, because it is not. There are many things we have identified as telling us we are not yet free. Of course, we hoped that as the young people come understanding more things, we are going to move forward. But instead of moving, we have in fact retreated back to something we never thought it will ever be. The organization that is respected by the entire Africa, by the world. Today, we who joined it and were ready to die, and under its leadership, many people died and many spent years and years in prison. Suddenly, those freedom fighters decided to say, the former oppressors are our brothers. We are with them. We are going to rule together, irrespective of the fact that we are starving, we are dying, we are everything. This is what made us to feel, we who are still alive and our heroes have died, it will be something worse for us to say, fine, let us just go because was pet. And it was clear, if you take the role played by some, because I don't want to say every white is playing a wrong thing. No. There are some white people who seem to have been planning for this country all the time, with all the money in their hands. And they succeeded to recruit some of the people. And they are actually running the country. There are companies here in South Africa that have everything you can think of, including the broom to sweep. It's owned by the biggest companies and people in this country. I'm just forgetting their names. Who are they? Unfortunately, you will help me. And therefore, the decision to say, let us free ourselves, let us create our own vehicle, because the one that was given to us by our ancestors is now led by people who are no longer us. They don't look like us. They look different. Took a decision, a very serious decision, partly because we did not forget why many of us joined the struggle to liberate the black people. We were faced with a serious problem. What do we do? Do we accept being taken back to oppression? Or should we fight to liberate ourselves completely? Some of us felt that almost many of us are feeling the pain and want to change the situation. Was it easy? No. Know why? Because those who have been carrying the instruments of oppressing us still had those instruments and had taken some of our own to be something else. So it was a question of what do we do? I can just tell you a small story. I attended the African National Congress last business of saying, konje kuthiwa yini lento esuke sihlangene kuyo? Oh, national conference. Yes, national conference in Johannesburg. Because I felt that the manner in which we are handling our country was not what we sacrificed for. And therefore it was wrong. Maybe our colleagues were making a mistake. I have been also in the leadership, but there was a disadvantage if, as a leader, you went to sit behind the national committee. Because you sit there, you can't say a word. You must allow the delegates to speak. And with time, delegates, the manner in which we're arguing things had been shifted away from the manner in which we had been doing before. So I took a decision that I'm not going to sit where the leaders are sitting. I'm going to go with my branch because I wanted to argue against the African National Congress and say, this is not the ANC I know. And I was ignored, having raised my arm to tell the ANC how much wrong they were. They did not see me when I was sitting with all delegates. I raised my hand on the right and it was tired. I put it down, I raised more. Nobody could see me. And I finally said to my comrades, what is this? And they stood up, they tried to say, hey, hey, showing the chair. The chair did not see where we were sitting until he closed the meeting and said, let us go to discussions where we'll discuss matters which were supposed to be the matters that would have been raised in the plenary. And because I knew comrades and I was worked up, and I walked to the chair, I said, well, Chair, what are you doing? Why are you not pointing me that I must speak? I've been raising my hand. I said, sorry, we are sitting very far, we can't see you. And he has been seeing people behind me. And I said, then what must I do? Because I've been here, and I'm here to debate that the organization has moved out of the route we used to travel. Then where will I raise these matters? Then I was asked I must raise them in the commissions. I said, but I know commissions. You guys at times tell people in the commissions what to write, what not to write. Say, no. Say it all. Say we authorized you. And this is what I did. I criticized the organization. I had a lot to say, but I said I must put it within a space that will be understood. And that's what I did. I attacked the president in that speech of mine, and I attacked his colleagues, the leadership. Hoping that when we go back to the meeting, then the debate is going to start. Once the comrades saw my input, they did something was never been done since 1912. Kuthiwa yini ma umhlangana ume kancane? Huh? Agenda. Are you sure? No. The meeting was postponed, not adjourned. Adjourned is when you go for tea, you adjourn, you come back. It was postponed indefinitely. In other words, the discussions were stopped because I was going to raise the matter and tell them this is not what we vowed for, we would die for. In any way, that meeting, which was supposed to sit, never sat. Something unknown, I don't know how you can explain it. Because when they said, now we are meeting, it was the National Executive Committee in Johannesburg and the provincial what you call leadership meant in different places, all to be put in one, something you can't explain. It was clear to me that people have taken a decision which will take us nowhere. And that's the reason why I believed that if we don't do anything, I don't know how we are going to look like. Because these people had all the things they need. It needed to be thought out what to do. And it was not easy to tell people what you want to do, because it will be stopped at the door. And that's the reason why this decision was taken, that let us not continue with this bus. This bus is now dead. Let us take another bus. But we had to give a thought, because we could not say we are establishing a party which will mean nothing. I mean, there were many things that people could have said, like, for an example, you could have said this is a revolutionary something. All those things have been said before. So it was clear that this needs a call to the Africans in this African country. A call to stand up and liberate ourselves. Hence the name yoMkhonto weSizwe. It was not accidental. It says a lot in many ways. It has a meaning to our ears. We know exactly what we are talking about. And that's why we established this party, which is a party of our country. It's a party that we have said very openly. It's a party that must see the true freedom of this country, the real freedom. We must feel we are in our country that is free, that has citizens that are getting everything they want as human beings, as people of this country. Now, I must say how happy I became when many of us felt this is a time for us to take the last move to liberate ourselves. And this is what we have to do. We have a task, to help our brothers, take them by their hands to come, that we are together, that we liberate ourselves. We cannot lose this opportunity. It is our time, and the time is here. What is important about this? In the struggles from slavery, because we started from slavery, all the way up to what we have been calling the armed struggle. We have now arrived at a point where the matter is more easier than where we come from. We had to carry guns and fight, etc. we now have an opportunity to put our majority together and win the elections with 2/3 majority and do everything for ourselves. If we're black oppressed, we don't see that, then we have a problem before us. But our duty is to say to ourselves, let us just put ourselves together, take over, so that we create the African laws. The African laws, which are full of respect, full of everything that says a human being must live equal. No human being must starve. No human being must be more richer than others when others have nothing. It needs us. It needs us. And I am very happy that within a short space of time, we have all realized that our time has come to liberate ourselves. When we went for elections, many of us were very clear that we were going to win with 2/3 majority. And we did. We did. Only those who always have tricks and who are not us realize that we're winning. When in the counting, they realized that our votes were going up like we have never seen before. We're going up like this. They were going up. They then decided to stop the machines. Machines were stopped. Not that they failed, no. And during that time, they diverted our votes to themselves, to their friends, to everybody. We have evidence to that. So it was made to look like we did not make it. But unfortunately, very soon when the court resumes, we are going to hear that our votes were taken and they gave themselves and others. Those who were handling, or who have been handling the voting in South Africa, they are part of those who did wrong things and others. I don't think we should allow that. I don't think we should allow that. If the truth is as it is, let us be given our votes. So that we take the country, we change the country into a decent country. If we don't do it, I don't know what else we would be saying we want to do. This is within the law. And if the judges in South Africa don't respect the law, my view is that we should go to the international court where the law will be exercised. It's not a small matter to steal the votes of those who have won. It's not a small matter. It's a matter, if it come to the push, I would sell all my cattle in order to get the money to go there. We won. Those who did not win pretended to have won. The truth and the reality must be brought to its what to call. Okay. Having said all of this, it's because I feel very strongly that no nation like us should allow itself to be ruled by people who are not honest. We are an honest organization. We want this country to be ruled on the honest, and the country must accept the reality, that things change. Things change. And I'm happy that we have organized this coming together because, one, celebrating our 1-year-old having behaved like a new child, and indeed, knowing that we are facing the work before us, only 4 years remain to take over everything. It is therefore important that we meet like this, that if at all, our opponents, to be more slightly polite, use money to buy things, to buy people, to do everything. During the elections, the money was used like we have never seen before. Unhonest people, unhonest rulers, people who say they are looking after us, but they are dishonest. They rob us. We don't want to do so. We want to win cleanly, as we did. And therefore, we who are here, businesses, not as big as the businesses of other people, who almost own a quarter of the country, half of the country, it is what we have done to come together today to say, for us to be able to do what we want to do, we want our people that we are with, and we who have no money, who have got few cattle, we must sell them so that we make the money, so that we can therefore take over. And it is in that vein that we felt we needed to have our business people being with us and those who have something. As I said, I've got only cattle because we must win. We must win. We must do everything. We must convince our people that this is the time. No other time than this one. ngoMkhonto weSizwe, therefore, is now a vehicle if you want to climb the mountain and succeed to reach the peak of the mountain. If you want, this is a vehicle to cross the big rivers, including the sea, to arrive where we're supposed to arrive. We cannot miss this opportunity. It is our time, comrades. It is our time. And I'm happy that we are here. And I'm happy that we've got visitors with us. And I'm happy that comrades, the citizens, not just gradually, in their forces, they are coming to ngoMkhonto weSizwe to solve the problem of this country. We are going to be together. Some people are trying their best to stop us, but unfortunately, we are unstoppable. We are going to rule this country and correct everything. Whether people do whatever tricks, the tricks are not going to work. The time of the tricks is gone. If that is the case, we are going to rule this country. There are few things we needed to bear in mind. We cannot behave like those who have failed to run the country by misbehaving. We cannot fail to respect the citizens of this country. There is something I always believe is correct. If you are a politician, a real politician who understands politics, there is no reason why you should swear at other people. For me, that is not politics. That is not politics. You can't every day talk about other people, not about what your beliefs are. The politicians who like calling other people's names, they don't know politics. They can believe they do. Unfortunately, bakhohlisana bakwethu. Bakhohlisana. If at all you want to win the minds and thoughts and everything of the people, tell them the truth. Tell them what you stand for. You can't keep on calling people's names, saying all sorts of things, and think that you can lead a country. Please advise those people. And that must not come from yoMkhonto weSizwe. Must not. We know what we are here for. Let us stick to it. If people swear at us or do whatever, don't worry. It's not our problem. You know, I have a problem with a man if another person says we are a dog and then he fights to death. What is he defending? Because we are not a dog, why are you fighting then? Why? Well, the person who says so to you when you are not a dog, you are a human being. It's abnormal. Absolutely abnormal. You don't have two things as there. Don't have umlomo nje, awuhambi ngemlenze embili, awunamsila, but uyalwa umuntu mayithi winja, ulwelani. What are you fighting? Are you a dog? Or we are not sure whether you're a dog, no, we are not a dog. I have never understood. Ufana noma umuntu ethi ayindawo lento yenu unandabani naye. It's not for his business or her business. It is us. And secondly, if you are an MK, you misbehave, you are angry, yonke lento, you are actually putting us down. If you belong to MK, citizens must respect you, must see a human being in you. So please, whether it's other political parties or whatever, don't say anything. That's not your business. Your business is to promote yoMkhonto weSizwe. That is your business. So that people must see that when this organization is on power or in power, we will live a peaceful life in our country. That's what they must think. So please, don't fight for positions because somebody else has been given a position. We are not for that here. Here we are here to finish our liberation. If we continue doing this, we are going to take action against such people. It's very important to know that our journey is a genuine one, and we are going to change this country and perhaps work together with the African people to change the Africa of the continent. We can no longer go back. We are here and we are going to be in charge. Don't worry about the position, Kosiam. Please. Aisholu tolento. You waste your energy, your time, uzondana nomuntu nje. Ongazange athathe lutho kuwe. He's part of the struggle. We have not taken steps after putting across our rules. Because sinikeza chance ukuthi kuphela ulaka liphela. Kube khona comradeship egcwele etheswi. Siyezwana. You know what we have done because our clever people realize that if they've got the money, they can corrupt everybody else. And we have gone to many conferences wherein those who have money, they've put their own people to lead so that they can carry their own kind of objectives. We have deliberately said, we here, we are not going to have any conference. Lapha abantu abazokhethela nje. No. We are, whether we like it or not, we are going to learn that all of us must choose those we believe they can lead us. Not because Abos Banban, they've given money for them so that they rule us. Kuningi sokwenza okungajwayelekile. But we are going to consult. We'll have conferences where we meet to consult, to say how have we succeeded, how we have managed this, what else do we want to do, how are we going to do this, what type of a comrade we want to do this. We, in our consultation, will do so. Izophela lento ukuthi siyalena nje sesiyazondana, sesiyadubulana because ngifuna ukuwina wakithi. No. We don't have that kind of time. We've got time to be free. And once we are free, we'll decide what we want to do. At the moment, sorry. Akho umuntu ozohamba eqokelela imali epha abantu ebusuku ukuthi bamkhethe. Sifuna ukukhetha umuntu nesiyamazi lo. Siyamazi. Umama impela lo uzosiphatha. O ubaba impela lo uzosiphatha. Sivumelane sonke ngoba siyamazi. Ake siyeke lento yabelungu. Asinamali thina belungu banemali. And therefore they will rule us in the end. But we'll have time to talk about these matters. For now, we are saying the time has come. And we are here. And we are here. Thank you very much for having come to one and one decision only. That we should rule this country. Because if we do so, our land will come back. Our wealth will come back. Africa will thrive. We'll be the ones. There are two places recognized in the world, the West and the East. The middle, where we are, is not recognized. It is going to be recognized very soon. Please, don't think we've organized enough. Let us organize more. Every South African must be with us, must support us. It is our manner in which we conduct ourselves that will say, yes, this is the organization to join. And there are many who are going to join. Nevertheless, hey, asiyekeni oku wrong, senze oku right. Agreed? Thank you.